Good morning. Still, barely. It's May the 16th, and I'm afraid this is just another walk downtown. It's just another walk. You could call it a stalk. I just realized not a lot rhymes with walk when I got into that, so there ain't no need to balk. Your window needs a caulk. I guess a few things rhyme with walk, but they're hard to work them all into the same song parody. Anyway, just walking downtown. I wasn't even going to go downtown today, but it turns out I have to pick up some pills at the drugstore, so that kind of determined my course of action. I can also pick up a book from the condo. I had a draw when I was at Saskexpo and another one when I was at, well, they were all one draw, Saskatchewan Library Association, and I have a winner. But she's not in Saskatchewan even. She was from BC, Prince George. So I'll be sending the books that she won to the Prince George Library. Some of them I can send via Amazon, but one of them is a hardcover of my own novel, The City Born, and that one I have to pick up a copy and physically mail it. So, and that's at the condo. So I'll probably do that after I pick up my pills at the drugstore. But I won't live stream any of that because it's too fragmented. I've been working on grant application, Creative Saskatchewan book production grant. I should be able to submit it this afternoon, I think, which will make me happy as long as I get the money. I suspect if they told me no, I would have to scale way back on my plans. I can't do another year of paying for it all myself. I need that grant money to get, just because there's so much money has to go into it up front before you can sell anything. So that kind of seed money for design and editing and printing, you need to have that all up front before you can then start selling on the other side. So in the ideal world, there'd be no need for government grants, and that's actually the world I would prefer, being a libertarian at heart. But as my wife says, they're giving the money to somebody, it might as well be you. And hopefully I can start getting some other kinds of grants. I haven't been eligible because I haven't been able to convince the Canada Council last couple of times I tried that I was a real publisher, but maybe now I can. After I've had a few months of being distributed by Lit Distco and being a member of Literary Press Group, I think one would hope, and being probably the third largest publisher in Saskatchewan, close to it anyway, one of the top ones, hope that they'd finally decide, oh, maybe he is actually a real publisher. Anyway, then you can get another stream of grants, although, boy, I hate writing grants applications. It's taken me probably 3 solid days I've been working on this thing. I mean, interruptions, obviously, but still. It's a lot of work to get all the necessary information together and fill out the forms and all that sort of thing. I think what he's doing is actually legal. It looks like he's picked up somebody's bins from the back of their house. Scavenging. Also did another podcast interview today. I've done one every day this week. That's a month's worth of podcasts all done in a week. This morning was with a fellow named Brian Nelson, who I was supposed to talk to last week or the week before, but we had technical difficulties. But today it all went smoothly. Interesting guy. Just completed a trilogy featuring nanotechnology and military, how that affects weapons systems and all that kind of thing. It's interesting because his first book was a nonfiction book about the had a coup attempt against Hugo Chavez in Venezuela in 2002. So he does have some writing chops on the real world political side of things. But also interesting is that his next book he's working on is a high fantasy, so doesn't want to get pigeonholed, I guess. And I certainly flip back and forth among genres, so I'm not one to complain about not sticking to a particular rut, that's for sure. If I stuck to a rut, I wouldn't be publishing anything right now because I wouldn't be a publisher, I'd just be a writer. No, that fence looks better for that property. Property I'm very familiar with, but people I know knew who lived there are gone, the Shumiachers. Very important family, couple here in Regina, but both dead now. All right, we'll go this way. Since I came this way, it's a slightly different path than the last time I came, which is good because I don't want to be stuck in a rut. I just talked about that, not being stuck in a rut. I like this building as a house, but it's not a house anymore. It's offices of some sort. It's supposed to rain later tonight. And for the next few days, actually, the forecast is showing rain almost every day. So I'm not sure what that'll do with my walking. We'll see. Also had rehearsal for Beauty and the Beast last night, which I'm actually in 2 productions of Beauty and the Beast. I'm playing Maurice in the actual musical, and then Class X Studios, dance studio, where my daughter works part-time right now and where she danced for many years, is doing for their main recital this year, they're doing a ballet version of Beauty and the Beast. And I'm playing Monsieur Dark in that one. Not dancing, don't worry. I can't dance, don't ask me. Just a lot of miming, since it's a ballet, no talking. Savannah Square. Not sure how Savannah got in there, but that's the Twin Towers downtown on their logo. But Savannah's a long way from here. There is no Savannah, Saskatchewan, although it does have a nice alliterative sound. So if I were forming a new town, I might call it that. It doesn't seem likely that that is something I will do. Across here, since nobody's coming, condos here. At least I assume they're condos, not rental properties. It's actually way warmer than I thought it was going to be. I could have come out in shirt sleeves. I think they said 19, well, they being Google, which is pretty warm, but I thought it was going to be cloudy, and it probably will be later, but right now there's enough sun that it's quite warm. Fireside Bistro over there, where I often go to eat when my wife's out of town if I'm on my own, because it's an easy walk from home and has good food. It's not cheap, but and I like their lounge, which is where I usually sit and eat. We'll go up this way today. That's the Assiniboia Gallery. Oh, I smell, yes, indeed, blooming trees. I believe that's a mountain ash. It has a kind of a meaty smell, not a floral smell at all. Anyway, Assiniboia Gallery here. Very fine commercial gallery that we've bought stuff in before. Yeah, it's a very distinctive smell, but it's quite carnivorous, I guess. Like it's designed to attract some sort of, I don't know if meaty is quite the right word, but it certainly doesn't smell like a flower to me. They have a lot of them along here. It's quite a distinctive miasma. This was the first condo built by the people who then built the one that we have a condo in. We visited somebody in here when we were looking at ours and helped decide that we wanted the one we got. Buildings over here that had additional floors put on them, as you can see. Maybe not that one, but that one for sure. I presume that one's always been that height. The older apartment building. Nice looking one for its era. That one hasn't been a house for a long time, and it's been greatly expanded from its original dimensions. I don't know what's in there. It has a fire escape to the second. Oh, here we go. Number of things. I don't know what all Saskatchewan is. We'll cross over here since no one's coming. Across the bike path. Everything's been painted recently, which is nice because for a while you could hardly see the lanes. Another old apartment building. The Belmont Apartments. And we'll go by another old one down here. So Ripplinger Art Gallery over there. And Henry's Cafe. I wonder if they're going to open up their deck again this year. They used to be able to, you could have a nice little, you could eat out in that little tiny deck there. But I haven't seen it since COVID happened, and I guess I don't really know if they're still operating or not as a cafe. There's certainly still a gallery there. Another one of the old apartment buildings. This one doesn't have a name on it that I can see. This is Lorne Street, and that's Lorne Drugs over there. That's why it's called that. Lorne was Governor General of Canada, I believe. That's where that name comes from. Shall we carry on this way? If nobody's coming, we shall. Past Tangerine Food Bar here, which is... go there as often as you'd think I would. I like it, but somehow I never think of it. And Posh Paws Pet Spa and Boutique. Rescue Tech. Meeting room in here. I've been to meetings in there. Sterling Productions, which has just been doing the producers at the Center of the Arts, was in here, but not for a while. I don't know where they're based out of now. Another old apartment building. Yeah, we had a bunch of people missing from our rehearsal for Beauty and the Beast because they were also in the producers with Sterling, which went up the last 2 nights, I think. I've never done a Sterling show. This has a very no longer operational look, doesn't it? I wonder if that's going to get torn down. Oh, it says it's for sale. That's for lease over there if you're looking for business property. Go across Cornwall, and I guess we'll walk straight up Cornwall to the hotel. Another blooming tree, same kind, I think. Is that a lilac? It's not a lilac, but it's not the other kind of tree either. Much more pleasant flower smell on that one. Big apartment building here, the Waverleys. Older one over there. Priority Accounting Services, so that's not a house anymore. No, Cornwall Village, I guess, is the actual name of this place. 50 plus. I resent the fact that I'm supposed to feel like I should be living in with older adults at my age. Do not go gentle into that good night. It's my philosophy. As I often say, my mom, would always say in her head she was still this little barefoot girl growing up in Missouri on a farm. Didn't wear shoes all summer, back in the 30s. And she still remembered running, and she had arthritis quite as a young woman, and so running was something that quickly was no longer possible for her. I never understood that, of course, because she was just my mom, and she was old. She was 33 when I was born, so she wasn't old, even in my best memories of her. Nevertheless, I couldn't understand it as a kid, but now that I am grown, I have put away childish things, and I do understand it, because in my head, I'm the same age I was in high school, the same size I was in high school. We're rehearsing in Lakeview United as we lead up to moving into the theater next week. And Regina Musical Theater storage room is in there. And there's a coat, a brown polyester jacket in there that I donated years ago. And I still remember buying it with my dad with me when I was probably 15 in Weyburn, in the era of, kind of broad lapels and polyester and open neck shirts. And some of my friends wore the chokers. I never did that, but I had the open neck, the big lapels that went over the lapels of your coat kind of a look. So that coat is 50 years old, pretty much indestructible, being made out of polyester. And but the thing is, it fits me. It shows me that in high school, I was pretty much the same size I am now. 6'2", and a varying number of pounds, currently higher than they should be, but I usually say 235 is kind of my average default if I don't work at it really hard. I've been as low as 190, but not recently. It's hard to believe I could lose 50 pounds at this point, but it does get harder as you get older. You see, we have some cherry blossoms blossoming there as well as we look at Victoria Park and the cenotaph, and some workers blossoming in yellow vests. And here we are once again in front of the Hotel Saskatchewan, my destination. So I'll stop here, and thanks for walking with me. I will, I presume, be back sometime, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Bye for now.